Whit's on her phone.
I'm not anymore. Hidden.
How's this angle?
Looking good.
Hey.
Hey.
Bright nights, long nights, never thought I'd say it was time for the world. I feel on top of the world. Hey.
Hi guys, welcome to the City Extra bonus footage with old cast members. Today we're talking to Joe Zee.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, I hope.
Just to start, talk about how you and Elle were approached for the show.
Actually, there was sort of a middle person that sort of brokered it all. Do you remember in the first season, you guys were actually working for Diane von Furstenberg?
Right.
And a really good friend of mine was in charge of all of the publicity and communications there, Alix.
Of course.
And she said, you know what, will you come down to the studio today? I think you need to meet Adam, who's doing the show for us with Whitney and Olivia, who's working here. And I was like, how come? And she's like, I don't know, just come by today. And I did, and I met him really quickly. And he's like, oh, hey, will you come to this party or this thing and just film a quick scene with us? And I was like, okay. And we did it. And I remember it was one of those interesting things where it's like, oh, just come to the party and we'll just film you at the party. But it wasn't quite like that. It was like, come to the back door and get mic'd and walk through the back door, like for the first time, but a couple times. And remember, we went back to the fire escape where there was maybe, I'm not kidding, a good half a dozen people crammed into a fire escape with headphones on, a little video camera, being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then they were like, you know what? We should talk about maybe the girls can come to Elle, or I think Olivia should work at Elle. It would be so great. And I was like, sure, talk about it. And he said to me, he was like, do you think anyone at Elle would be really good for this? I was like, oh, you have to meet Erin Kaplan, who heads up our PR. She is a take no prisoners girl who just says it like it is. I love her because she's a straight shooter and exactly what you're looking for.
When the idea came about, was there any part of the PR team and Erin that were like, maybe this isn't a good idea for press reasons because it was a reality show? Or were you guys like, this is a really great opportunity?
Oh no, everybody was terrified. Everybody was apprehensive, I think, probably except me. And I think definitely, and I love Erin, but and you can see in the show that Erin is someone who really thinks everything through. And I'm really more like, yeah, let's just give it a try. Let's just have fun. She's like, wait, but what about this and this and this? I'm like, we're overthinking it. Let's just have fun.
Did you know Olivia prior to this?
I think I probably had met her casually or socially in the world of fashion, but no, not really at all. I think probably I met her for real for the first time at DVF that day, doing a fake entrance 5 or 6 times. Yeah.
Every other episode, it seemed like either Olivia was gonna like kill the task at hand or fail miserably. Was that sort of the producers telling you like, hey, what can Olivia do well at this week? Or,
Or did she ever really fail, like not do a good job?
I mean, I think it's a combination of all those things. I mean, definitely, I think tasks were given to Olivia that were way beyond her realm. And then some things that we know that she could like absolutely smash. And maybe all the different tasks in the end were all edited so that they were like peaks and valleys. So it's like, oh, she wins. Oh no, she bombs. She's back to winning. Girl bombs again. And listen, that keeps it fun, right? Because it's like you kind of you got the score, you don't got the score.
So like Erin and Olivia worked closely together, and obviously Erin was really frustrated by Olivia's work a lot of the time. Were you in the middle? And if so, how did you kind of manage that?
Yeah, I think I was definitely in the middle. I think when this was airing at its peak, I got so much shit from people everywhere I went. And they literally, I mean, people wanted me to be Devil Wears Prada, and I just wasn't. And it was just like, it was that world. It's like they wanted me to come in there and be this raging asshole and slam them down. And I was like, but what's the point? Like, and I always felt like I was like their dad. I was like, yeah, certainly I can send one to their room and punish them. But I can also say, you know what? I like this and I don't like this, but you two work it out.
I think it was really refreshing to see you as a face of fashion that wasn't that person, because we had just come off of Kelly Catrone, who is very much that like
tell it like it
tell
is.
it like
right.
it is, very harsh, you know. And so I think that you led a really good example to show people that the fashion industry, like, it's not as cutthroat, or it doesn't have to be as cutthroat or competitive or mean as people think it is, or as like movies portray it out to be.
So Whitney Eve takes off in season 2, and you were always like a huge supporter.
Cheerleader for me. It was so appreciative.
And this is kind of another thing about Olivia, like she really easily could have supported Whitney Eve and not like had any negative fallout from it, but she chose, it was not us being like, don't like Whitney Eve. She chose not to support it.
Zonman, and the jacket's a new designer called Whitney Eve.
Well, I love the skirt and the shoes. They look great.
I can't believe I'm watching this for the first time and I'm having all this flood of feelings coming back. It's like PTSD from like those 12 years ago. But literally, I was like, is it that hard just to say you also like the jacket whether you don't or
Right.
you or don't?
Like, doesn't she know she's gonna look like such a like that? Why? She must really have not liked me, or was so afraid that her fashion reputation was going to be tarnished if she liked my collection.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't live in her head, but I'm just saying, like, that was so weird. Like, you could also just broadly say, oh, you look great. But to singularly pull out, well, I love your undershirt, I love your skirt, I love your shoe.
Your
I
underwear
love
are probably great too.
Your deodorant is great. Everything about you is great, except what is that? Is that a jacket?
The show sort of ended in kind of a strange way. What did you think of the way the show ended? And then how did you find out that it wasn't like coming back?
I think that definitely the producers pitched to me to be like, let's have a meeting. And then I think that like no one sat there and be like, this is the season finale cliffhanger. It was sort of like, let's just do it. And I think once it's all done, you sort of piece all the stories together to be like, well, what's really good to sort of hang on? And I think they realized that that was sort of an interesting, like, ta-da!
Yeah, because they did that a lot. Like the moment where you reveal like which Fergie cover it was, and you know, you get Erin saying she really wants this one, and it's not the one that Olivia pulled for, or whatever. And like that moment is great TV. And you can kind of control both narratives.
That's true.
I think you did it better than anyone. I mean, protected Elle and protected the show, which weren't always. Sometimes those two things were at odds.
Yeah, that was always the hardest part.
I think what I loved about the show the most was that I walked away and I learned so much about producing. I learned so much about storytelling. But you know what I mean? Where like you walk away and be like, oh my God, they are friggin' kings at what they do, because this shit is not easy to do. And people don't even realize this, but when I say that, you know, that those shows, The Hills and the City, was done without using interviews to link stories together and explain to a viewer what was being told, that you knew what was going on just from in-scene production. And it's such a next level thing for a lot of people to sort of grasp, that they don't even get that part.
Nobody
like
even
any
does
other
it
reality
anymore.
show, you could just set people down for interviews and just like link all the shows together, link all the scenes together. And it's not lazy like that. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, shout out to like Adam, who taught Spike, and Bill, who taught, you know, me and the rest of the crew. But like we couldn't stop shooting a scene until
You had
like
the
like
beats.
Spike just knew that we had the look from Erin to Olivia to get us out of the scene, to tell the viewer, oh, Erin is pissed, and she's pissed at Joe too, and like do it in a look. And like he just knew when we had it, and people don't produce shows like that anymore.
What are you up to now?
Well, I've been producing a bunch of stuff because it's been so much fun, but I produced a documentary series that's on Netflix called 7 Days Out that is about a love letter to work, but it's really about putting on big events in the world. That's amazing, and I love it so much because it's like been critically acclaimed and all that stuff. So, and then I have a bunch of other stuff in development, a bunch of like documentary stuff, and then also a scripted show that we just are in the early stages on, but we are in like outline pilot stage, so that's sort of super duper interesting. And then I have been consulting with a media magazine company out in Asia, across all of Asia. So I get to actually find my own Olivia and Aaron out there to torture.
Oh my God, amazing.
Amazing.
Well, it was so great to talk to you again. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
As soon as all this stuff is over, we would love to get together and
I would love to. I love to.
Yeah.
I miss you guys.
thank you so
All right.
much.
Bye, Joe. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
rest of your day.
Thank you.
You too. Bye, guys.
I love that.
That was great.
Love Joe.
Does he live in LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to get together with him.
Yeah, COVID's safe.
Yeah, you guys should follow him. He's really cool and inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
Great behind the scenes stuff from Joe. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. That's something different than subscribing. You should do that.
Peace in the streets.